Hey folks, Mr. Justin here with Secret Weapon Miniatures and another 2-minute tutorial for you. This time it's something that's actually on my desk right now. We are going to make some tiny bungee cords. You can see the bungee cords I've got in here for this project. They actually hold the gas tanks in place for this, these acetylene tanks, so they don't fall out of the rack. And I need to make a third one of those, so we're going to do that together real quick. What I've got for starters are some Ouch's hair rubber bands. I got the smallest that I could find, while still being, beefy enough that I could actually get a wire wrapped around them, because that's what we're going to do. I start by cutting that to my desired length, just with my hobby knife. And the other things I'm going to need are some wire. In this case, I've got some 24 gauge silver wire. I have my wire snips, pair of needle nose pliers, and a pair of forceps. This is probably the only unusual one in the kit. I do recommend that if you don't already have a set of forceps at home, as a modeler, you get a set. Lots of great things you can do with these. Very handy for holding small parts very tightly. And of course, that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So what I'm going to do to start is take my wire, line it up on the end of my rubber band, a little bit past where I want the end of it to be, because I'm going to cut that end off, and then I actually just clip them together. So you can see that's going to make a nice tight hold for me, because what I need to do is very tightly get in there and wrap the first circle around this. So I get this out of the way, make sure I've got a nice tight fit, pushing it down against the edge of the forceps, and really tight. So you can see it's actually making a nice little squeeze in there. And I'm going to wrap that around 4 times. Once you get the first one done, the others are quite a bit easier. I only use my pliers, either my needle nose or my flats. If I see that it's getting a bit loose, I'll give it a little squeeze. 3 and 4, maybe, possibly. Is it going? It's going. Once that's done, I leave the end loose on both ends. I can cut the rubber band to fit as well if I need to. So I'm going to do this very quickly. Is get in here, snip off the end from where I started. Very carefully, of course, getting the rubber band out of the way. From there, I come into the end on this side, get my wire up, and from about 2 or 3 millimeters above the end, I'm actually just going to fold that over. And from there, I cut the clip first. Cut a little more, not quite short enough. And then I get in and I cut off the excess rubber band. If I need to, I can get in there with my little scissors or my hobby knife. Normally it works just fine to snip it. As you can see, I get one little bungee cord band. Works beautifully. Again, in this case, for the ones I've got here, I did actually link them around the back of the trolley, and I can stretch these because they are rubber bands. They are actually going to do their job. Stretch them just slightly to accommodate the acetylene tanks. 1 and 2. Once the wheels are on the cart here, it actually tips kind of this direction, so they fell out on me. And of course now they won't. I'm going to finish that third bungee cord, get all these lined up how I want them, and I'll have nice realistic bungee cords holding all of this in place. Any questions, you know where to find me. It's Justin at SecretWeaponMiniatures.com or Mr. Justin at SecretWeaponMiniatures.com, and of course you'll find us on Facebook.com/SecretWeaponMiniatures. If there's something you'd like to see covered in another 2-minute tutorial, drop me a message, let me know. And in the meantime, thanks for watching and happy hobbying.